Alright, so it's time to tackle Rankin Bass again. Just to bring you up to speed, I've seen three of their movies before, or you know, previously for this series, I've watched three of their movies. They're all from the 1960s. Um, yeah, I like two of them. Uh, yeah, Willie McBean and his Magic Machine and Mad Monster Party were both enjoyable. Um, I did have some issues with The Daydreamer, but you know, all three of the movies do have some enjoyable elements to them at least, and I think by Rankin Bass standards, knowing what they would become down the line, all three movies were kind of relatively mature. I mean, Daydreamer wasn't entirely mature. Right. You know, I guess Willie McBean wasn't that mature either, but still. Um, they didn't feel like they were talking down to you. Um, this one did. This is the first Rankin Bass film that I can definitely say felt pandering. Um, in fact, it might be the first movie I've covered that feels pandering. I mean, I guess Man from Button Willow is kind of pandering, but yeah. So, but yeah, I guess it's mainly because this one's kind of got a different target audience than the other ones. It does seem like each Rankin Bass film of the 60s has like a different age, like a different targeted demographic. Um, Willie McBean. I mean, each of them are like crossovers of like, a bunch of figures from, various categories. So, Willie McBean, we have historical figures. Um, that one's clearly like targeted for like kids 8 to 13, maybe 8 to 12. I don't know. Yeah, Daydreamer, maybe a slightly older audience, even though it was slightly dumber. Um, because it's, figures from Hans Christian Andersen's stories, so, probably get slightly older kids who are into that kind of literature. Um, and then Mad Monster Party seems to be a more adult movie because who is into the Universal monsters? It was adults. Um, I mean, I guess kids, maybe slightly older kids, can watch the movie okay, but there is a fair bit of slightly mature humor in that one. So yeah, that one definitely feels like the most mature Rankin Bass work I've seen. Um, I mean, I guess Last Unicorn might be at the same level. I have seen Last Unicorn a while back. It's from the early 80s. I'll cover it when I get to it. Um, but yeah, but this one is definitely targeted towards very young kids. I mean, it crosses over characters from Mother Goose rhymes, so you know who else is into that stuff. Um, I do feel they could have made it a little more clever. Could have written it better. They could have done it in a way that can appeal to kids and adults. But Rankin Bass was never really known for that, and yeah, this is the first work I have come to of theirs that really did feel like, or yeah, even by Rankin Bass standards, this felt pandering. Um, I mean, I do tend to go a little easier on stuff that's meant for little kids, um, because this movie's harmless. It's yeah, I can't really name anything like super offensive. Actually, there might be a few parts that are a little troubling by today's standards, but I'm planning on doing a full review of this movie one day, a Mash It review, just like Daydreamer. I got some material to work with here. But yeah, despite me picking on this movie, it's I can at least forgive the what they're going for. Um, but still, there's like crappy animation, even by Rankin Bass standards. Like this is one of their earlier 2D animations, yeah. So forgot to point that out. Like the other Rankin Bass movies were that I've covered so far were stop motion. This one is one of their 2D animations, which they weren't as well known for, but it was, if you've seen like Frosty and, you know, if you've watched enough of their works, you'd be as familiar as I am with their 2D stuff about as much as their stop motion. Um, so I don't know. I got a lot to pick on with this movie, so I'll wait until I do a proper Mash It review to like cover all of it. But for now, I'll just say crappy animation. It gets very slow. Like um, they really pad it out with like some awkward pauses here and there, and if you could easily abridge it. Like you could even just take out the pauses, or make it a bit more timely, and it'll be like maybe 45 minutes long, if not less. Um, so yeah, it feels like they really dragged this one out to fill the feature length runtime. Um, let's see. The voice acting was mostly very cartoonish. Um, I did like the lady who voiced Mother Goose. She's like this very big actress from early movie, like early film. Um, you know, um, I thought she did a good job. I also enjoyed the villain. He was entertaining enough, if rather generic. Um, is there anything else I want to cover like right now before I like? Um, it is worth pointing out that I actually had to buy this movie on VHS on eBay because there's no DVDs on Amazon, so I just looked everywhere for it, and yeah, this is what I had to settle for, a VHS. I actually paid money for this movie. um, but yeah, is there much else to cover right now? Um, yeah, comments and yeah, yeah. What you get the point. I put it in the comments if I have anything else to say. So yeah, I would not recommend this to most people. I would probably only recommend it to like really, really little kids. Um, you know, put it on for a little while and shut them up or something. Um, but yeah, otherwise, I definitely didn't think this was good at all. Easily the weakest Rankin Bass movie I've covered so far, and I give it a 4 out of 10. And that will be the last Rankin Bass movie I cover for a while. The next one is Last Unicorn, which again is early 80s, so it'll be a while before I get to that one. And that's the only other movie they did. So yeah. So yeah, is there anything else? Yeah, I'll just put it in the comments if I have anything else that I feel I need to say. So otherwise, I will definitely be. I definitely plan on doing a full Mashit review of this movie. So yeah, I'll go into more detail in that video. So yeah, until then, Mash it and Smash it signing off.